Hello and welcome to our final day of Mega Scizor. Honestly, this team has been very frustrating to use at times. There's been some battles where I feel like my skill is improving, my predictions are improving, and then we have another battle where I feel like a total noob. And now we're actually up against a 1750 player, so he's pretty good for sure, and he's using the Japan Sand archetype. So Salamence, Sylveon, Milotic, Tyranitar, Excadrill, and Amoonguss. So I think, like, just looking at the Pokemon, I'm pretty sure this is a terrible matchup. Breloom looks pretty good here, and so does Calmine Cresselia, if that Salamence is special based. But I'm not liking that Tyranitar. Tyranitar can really put a dent on our team. Definitely bringing Scizor in this one though. Who to lead? I think I definitely want to lead Breloom, because it threatens Tyranitar right off the bat, and it could also Mach Punch the Excadrill, but the sand will be troublesome for our Sash. If I could paralyze Tyranitar, that would be great. So I'm actually inclined to lead Thunder's Terrakion here. That seems solid against almost everything. Resist the Rock Slides. One Cress in the back. I don't know. I'm not convinced by Thunders anymore. Okay. Thunder's Breloom with Cress and Scizor in the back. That seems the most solid, I think. Not sure. Terrakion seems super useful here, especially with Rock Slide, but it was too threatened by Tyranitar and Excadrill, I guess. This is going to be another very difficult game. I guess I say that about every game. Amoonguss, Salamence. Okay. So I'm actually okay with that lead from my opponent. What could he do here? He'll be afraid of the Thunder Wave, but he'll also be afraid of the Taunt. So he might switch Salamence out. I really don't want that Amoonguss pouring stuff though. Gonna protect Breloom. What could he bring in that would threaten me? Could also switch in Cress. Cress seems very solid actually, because I can threaten Amoonguss with Psychics. That seems better. Breloom switches out, so Salamence is staying in, and Crest Thunderous is of course a very nice way to deal with both, unless he's carrying something like Rock Slide. But most Salamences in this Japan Sand archetype that I've seen are special based. There's the Protect. So he might... okay, double Protect. That's fine. He wanted to see what I was going to do. So he might be tempted to bring my Milotic in. I don't think Salamence is staying in. So I'm gonna Swagger, and I guess he will suppose that I don't have Taunt anymore. What could come in that would threaten me? Excadrill and Tyranitar could be in the back, or Sylveon and Milotic. Could perhaps Breloom have put off the Sand combination? Because if it did, and I set up a Calm Mind here, Now, I'm gonna Psychic Breloom. He withdraws Salamence, yeah. He might pull a double switch here. There's Excadrill, so he did bring the sand. And, yeah, Tyranitar for Amoonguss, so now my opponent is in a great position. If I had used Icy Wind here, and I'm actually gonna give that Tyranitar a +2 boost. Yikes. So that's never good. If I had gone for Icy Wind, I wouldn't be in that terrible of a position, but that was probably worst case scenario for me. At +2, possibly Scarf Tyranitar. It's not Mega, for sure. I'm gonna Thunder Wave Tyranitar, definitely. And if he went for a +2, Excadrill is going for Rock Slide here, for sure. So I could bring Breloom in order to threaten both, but he could just switch it out. So gonna Icy Wind here. Yeah, I'm gonna Icy Wind. Just in case he tries to bring Salamence back in. Nope. There's a Thunder Wave, so Tyranitar has low odds of attacking right now. There's the Rock Slide. Cresselia avoids, which is great. Does a lot of damage to Thundurus. And now let's see if Tyranitar can attack here. No, it hits itself. Okay, so that's great. That is pretty great. Now, after that Icy Wind, Thundurus should be faster than Tyranitar, just not faster than Excadrill, just yet. I think now that I've broken a potential Focus Sash from Excadrill, I'm gonna switch Thundurus out for Breloom. And Tyranitar might actually switch out here. What would come in though? Whatever comes in, I'm gonna use Calm Mind, because if he switches out, he's bringing Amoonguss or Salamence, and neither of those want to face off against Cresselia. Okay, so he's staying in. There's another Rock Slide. Does very little damage to Breloom. I wonder if what's Tyranitar going to do? Possibly, or probably a +2 crunch on Cress, but our odds are still in our favor for him not to attack. Oh, it's paralyzed. Okay. So no self-damage, but no damage to us either, which is great. Now, Excadrill, Salamence could come in here, but that Tyranitar, once it switches out, it's paralyzed, so it's not that scary anymore, and we do have Scizor. So I'm gonna Mach Punch that slot, and I'm gonna Icy Wind. Because if Salamence comes in, it's taking a... Okay, there's a Amoonguss. If he's pulling a double switch once more, that Icy Wind is going to hurt. He doesn't. There's the Mach Punch, so that's great. That's Tyranitar gone. Great. We did get those 2 turns where Tyranitar did not pull off an attack, but it wasn't too... No, it was pretty important. Who am I kidding? It was very important, but the chance of attacking through confusion is 50%, plus the 25% of Thunder Wave or a full paralysis meant that Tyranitar was not going to attack 62.5% of the time, I believe. So out of 10 times, 6 he wasn't going to attack. I'm over 50-50. So here Salamence protects, and Amoonguss is going to Spore Cress. So I am going to protect Breloom. I could switch out as well into Scizor or Thundurus. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out Breloom into Thunder. No! Ah! That was a terrible move. That was so dumb of me. Wow. That was terrible. There's a Spore. Should have just Psychicked Amoonguss. No more Sandstorm. That was terrible from me. Absolutely terrible. Cress is going to be the MVP here. I can't believe how badly I misplayed. I don't want anything falling asleep, so I'm gonna let both of my Pokemon go down here. Cress plus Scizor should deal with Excadrill pretty safely. So I'm gonna do some cheap damage on Salamence and just gonna do whatever with Thundurus. Oh wow, Amoonguss switches out. If I had used Mach Punch on that slot, but no, there was no way I was going to do that. This Hyper Voice will KO both of my Pokemon. That Mach Punch did respectable damage. But next turn I can Icy Wind, since there's no more Amoonguss. And neither of these Pokemon truly threaten Scizor, unless Salamence is carrying a fire type move. So I could also set up a Calm Mind, expecting Salamence to protect. So I'm gonna try to set up with both of my Pokemon here. Let's see how we do. Now, sorry guys, I have to do something very important right now on my phone. Wow. Salamence used a fire move, didn't it? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yep. And Iron Head got a critical hit, of course. Without that critical hit, pretty sure we would have been fine. And after an Icy Wind, we would have KO'd Salamence and we would have... Oh, how frustrating. These battles are very frustrating. Okay. Fire attack. Anyways. That crit. Okay, fine. Do you want to continue battling? I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about cutting that off, guys, and that I got distracted towards the end of the battle. An emergency came up on my phone with some personal matters, so I had to... That's why I got a bit distracted. I'm sorry. But I'll try to finish out the week with a win. I think I had that last battle. I misplayed. I made that mistake. I didn't plan on switching Cresselia. I was planning on switching Breloom and using Psychic on Amoonguss, and that would have been fine. And is that the same guy? No, it's a different team because now it has Aegislash instead of Sylveon. But the rest of the Pokemon are actually the same. That's interesting. So, another Japan Sand matchup. Is it making a comeback? Perhaps? Okay. Let's see here. We led Breloom Thundurus pretty unsuccessfully last time around. Did we miss Terrakion? Not really. Will it help against Aegislash? Not really. So I think I'm gonna lead the same. And have the same 2 in the back. Now we have to be a lot more cautious with Salamence using a fire type move, for sure. Have to be a lot more cautious. And I don't want to make any mistakes like last time. I can't believe I did that. The time pressure and everything. I was going to simply attack with Crest. There was no problem in doing that. I was going to take down Amoonguss with a +1 Psychic, and the Hyper Voice wouldn't have even taken down Thunders at that point. But hey, it happens. Better now than in a Premier Challenge, right? Yep, my opponent leads exactly the same. Will he double protect? He might be afraid of the taunt once again. So I'm still gonna Swagger and switch out to Crest. I'm gonna do exactly the same. But I'm also gonna be wary of my opponent pulling off that double switch that my previous opponent did. So we'll be trying to use the experience we got from the last battle in order to try to win this one. Which is always good advice, to learn from your mistakes, of course. Let's see. Salamence Mega Evolved, of course, so it's not Mega Tyranitar. Tyranitar is crossed off in my notes because I KO'd it last time around, but that's fine. Salamence protects. Does Amoonguss protect? No, it what? Why would you Rage Powder and protect? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, literally no sense at all. There was no way I was going to Encore him, so does he pull off a double switch here? And wow, my battery is going to die. So everything is going wrong lately. Let me just plug this in real quickly. There it is. We aren't at risk anymore. So I kind of want to double up on Amoonguss, but I'm gonna Thunder Wave Amoonguss, because Salamence is probably switching out to Excadrill. And I am going to Icy Wind here. Okay, so no switches. Amoonguss has a low chance to attack, I guess. There's a double edge from Salamence on Crest. Does a little over 50%, but that might leave Salamence vulnerable to an Icy Wind KO. Nope. Do get the speed drop, so let's see if Amoonguss can pull off an attack here. Hopefully he can't. He does. Pull through Paralysis and Confusion and Spores Thunders. Okay, that's interesting. If Salamence uses Double Edge here, Crest will probably go down. But none of my Pokemon want to take that. Okay, I definitely want to burn a Sleep Turn here. My first Sleep Turn. Question is, do I Icy Wind again or do I Psychic? I think I'm gonna Psychic Amoonguss. Because if Salamence uses Double Edge, my Crest is going down, but his Salamence is going down as well. If he switches out, I'll do a lot of damage to Amoonguss. And we still have... Amoonguss will still need to go through Paralysis and Confusion in order to Spore my Cresselia. If Tyranitar came in though, that would be a problem. I think my opponent's best-ish play would be to Double Edge with Salamence and switch Amoonguss to Tyranitar if he brought it. He might have not brought Tyranitar, but no switches from my opponent, no protects either. Oh, Chris was faster After that icy wind drop, I can't believe it. Ah, wow. Salamence went after Thunders. Okay, but we know we're faster, that's great. Could have also been a speed type, but wow, Among Us pulls through again. Now we're in serious trouble here. I probably will survive the double edge. Thunders has been asleep for one turn, so we can wake up on this next turn, but odds aren't great. Does Among Us switch out here though? Could pull a double here. Gonna try and Thunderbolt, Salamence, and gonna burn my sleep turn. If Thunders woke up, that'd be pretty lucky. I guess almost as lucky as pulling through Paralysis and Confusion twice, but no luck there. Both of my Pokemon stay asleep. Salamence uses Hyper Voice. Okay. Now it'd be great. Okay, Among Us doesn't confuse itself. It actually snaps out of confusion, and both of my Pokemon have a chance to wake up, especially Thunders. So the only lightning resists my opponent has is Excadrill. So I'm gonna Icy Wind and Thunderbolt here. I need one of my Pokemon to wake up. Come on. Thunders takes 3 turns of sleep. And Crest takes 2 turns of sleep. So, absolutely worst case scenario every single time. Among Us never got fully paralyzed. Never hit itself in confusion. We took 3 turns sleep with Thunders, 2 turns sleep with Crest. Icy Wind didn't KO. We do have priority. We can't take a KO on both of my opponent's Pokemon. We know Breloom is faster. At least he doesn't have the Intimidate anymore. I think a knockoff is a better choice on Among Us, and a Mach Punch on Sal. Oh no, that was a bad idea. That was a terrible idea, because Among Us can Rage Powder here. Gosh, I'm not playing optimal, clearly. Yeah, he doesn't switch out. He's gonna Rage Powder. He's gonna survive the Mach Punch, get knocked off, but okay, Salamence protects. Does he Rage Powder again? Can't believe we might lose to someone who used Rage Powder Protect on turn 1. Okay. Let's not be pessimistic. Among Us goes down. Terrible play by my opponent, I believe. I don't know what he has in the back. But if it's Sageslash, I'm pretty fine. If it's Tyranitar Excadrill, we should be okay. Although the sand might be problematic. Okay, so it is Tyranitar. Is it Scarf? And does a Bullet Punch take down Tyranitar? I would love to know that. I would actually love to know that. I could Swords Dance Protect, but I don't like that. Gonna do the safe move. Bullet Punch Salamence, Mach Punch Tyranitar. If Tyranitar is Scarf, it will go down. It does. It's not Sash. So wow, my opponent, I guess, kind of throwing the game away. After I got those terrible turns. Like, all that happened to me definitely is not impossible. The odds were low. It was just something improbable, but not impossible. But the fact that every single time we had favorable odds for Among Us to hit itself, and it didn't. And then we had favorable odds for Thunders to wake up, and it didn't. And then Cress had a chance to wake up and it didn't. So I don't know, pretty unlucky, but my opponent did misplay since turn 1. So wow, Scizor avoids, gets off the knockoff, and now I can just Mach Punch away safely. I could have Mach Punched since we saw it was Life Orb, but the Protect seemed safer. And now we just Bullet Punch, Mach Punch for the win. My opponent did go for Rock Slide, knowing we had priority, so he was going for flinches, I guess. His moveset, his best bet was to Iron Head, and Scizor was going to live anything pretty much. So at least we close off the week with a win. We close off probably in terms of rating where we left off last Friday. No progress there. But I will say this team was a lot harder. If we had won that first game, we would have closed off a bit higher, I believe. But that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Despite the frustrations and despite my reactions during the games, I really did enjoy using this team. It's definitely a very high skill team, and I learned a lot. Especially, this team focuses a lot on good Pokemon selection from your part, and it's always very tempting to bring the Mega Pokemon every single time, but it's not always the right choice with this team. Unlike Kangaskhan, which is probably useful in absolutely every scenario, even against a mono fighting team or something like that. But yeah, that will be all for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching and for all the support. I really appreciate it that you're here watching me play terribly. But we're slowly improving. It's only the 5th week that the channel has started. I am going to be playing Premier Challenges. I played one last Sunday and I went 3-3 with a Perish Trap team. I do have one not 2 days from now, but next Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that will be all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video if you can. Comment anything you might think is noteworthy or where I made terrible mistakes. And I'll see you next Monday with a brand new team. Bye bye.